Yo, England vs Norway quarter-final. Latest team news is Reece James is fit to play. I doubt he'll start because he's returning from a hamstring injury and he's up against some lively wingers for Norway on that left-hand side. So I doubt he'll start the game. Gay is struggling with an injury as well. Rice has got a little bit of illness. And obviously we all know Henderson snapped his wrist. So with that being said, my starting lineup will be Pickford in goal, Spence right back. I wouldn't risk Reece James coming back in a big game like this, especially up against the likes of Nusa for Norway on the left wing. I'll definitely play Spence. I wouldn't play Konsa either, only because they've got out-and-out wingers on that left side, whether it's Nusa or the guy that whipped in the crosses for Haaland. What's his name? Show. If you know his name, put it in the comments. But both of them are out-and-out wingers. Yeah, they like to isolate their fullback. They're good at duels with their fullback. And these are all things that Spence will capitalize on, because that's Spence's game. You want to isolate a fullback. You want to have a one-on-one versus a fullback. Yeah, Spence is your guy. Cool. So then we got Konsa and Stones. The same way we lined up against the backline would be the same way we lined up against Croatia, but without Reece James. You know, where we started with Stones on the left side of centre back and Konsa on the right side centre back. Because Gay again struggling with a bit of injury. I think it's a hamstring as well. You don't want any defender that's half thinking about an injury, let alone a hammy, when you're up against Erling Haaland. No way. We're gonna start with Stones and Konsa. Obviously, Dan Burn, has been a lot of shouts for Dan Burn. He's got a good record against Haaland with Newcastle. But with this game, you don't want to play Dan Burn unless you're sitting very deep. Because Dan Burn in a high line against Haaland with space in behind curtains. So I'd rather, not that Stones is rapid, but Stones, he's got a little bit more pace than Dan Burn, and Stones is used to playing in a high line, and also he's got that connection with O'Reilly from club, who's going to be starting at left back for me, so it all makes sense. So again, Pickford in goal, Spence right back, Konsa right centre back, Stones left centre back, and O'Reilly left back. My midfield three picks itself. I got Rice, Anderson, and Jude. Obviously, I want to keep it the same, so when we're defending, we'll be defending in that 4-4-2 shape with Rice and Anderson at the pivot, and then Jude joining Kane to press high up top. But when we're attacking, keep the same shape again as we did against Mexico. So Anderson will be in the single pivot, building the attacks, playing the passes through the lines to the likes of Rice on the right-hand side as a right-sided 8, and the likes of Jude on the left-hand side as a left-sided 8. And we want to now form them overloads out wide between Spence, Rice, and Saka. And the same on the left side with Jude, O'Reilly, and my left winger, who is going to be Rashford. Yeah, I went for Rashford because against Norway, I feel like a more attacking threat is needed. I think it will be a slower paced game due to the weather, due to the game being taking place in Miami. It'll be a slower pace for both teams. Neither team is built for the heat, so it'll definitely be a slower paced game than the Mexico game. And I feel like we need to go more attacking, and we save Gordon's legs for the bigger teams, which is yet to come, where we're going to need Gordon, because then we're going to be more defensive. We're going to be more of a counter-attacking team, and that's when I feel like we're going to need Gordon's defensive nous over Rashford. But for this game, I think we've got to stamp our authority. We've got to try and get the game won and get the players that are on, that are risking suspensions through yellow cards, get them off as soon as possible. So yeah, I will start Rashford, and obviously Saka on the right side. Might not get a 90, but we need Saka to be getting them 60, 70, 80 minutes in the system, so that come the semis and finals, hopefully, if we get there, Saka's then ready to do 90s, do you know what I mean? Obviously, Kane up front. So, like I already said, Spence is going to have a job in his hand dealing with whatever left winger Norway choose to go with. They'll probably go with Nusa, who is the more tricky winger. But then the other, I forgot his name, the other winger, but he's got end products. Like he likes to beat his man as well, do jinky stuff. But if he can get half a yard and swinging across, he will do that. We've seen that already for Norway against Brazil. So that'll be Spencer's job over there. Obviously, on the other side, they got Sorloth, the striker, but he plays as a right winger as he can. He can do that. I've seen him do it for Atletico Madrid. So he plays out there for Norway. But yeah, he's a striker by trade. Big guy. That's why it's good that we got O'Reilly over there, because just the athletic ability and the size of him. He can match up well, because when those crosses come in, if they clear Haaland, Sorloth is always running in on the back post. Dangerous. And O'Reilly's good in the air, obviously. So that'll be O'Reilly's job over on the left-hand side. Like I said, Gay can't be risked against Haaland, so we got Stones over Burn, because like I said, with the high line and the connection with O'Reilly. And in general, Tuchel's got to be proactive with the subs for this game. I think he's got to be proactive because there's a couple of players towing the line. So we have to be proactive with them subs. Try and get the game won early. We got to be clinical, get the game won early and be proactive with the subs. I'd like to see the only player that hasn't got minutes in this competition so far, Kobbie Mainoo. I'd like to see him get some minutes, get Declan off. He's one of those players, also injury. Even I've watched him in the training. I watched the England training. I watched two of the England training sessions today. And you can see Declan he's playing through it. He's playing through it. You can see that hamstring is bothering him. It's bothering him. They said it was like neural pain. That sounds like that's nerve damage. That sounds like sciatica. They said it's affecting his back all the way down to his hamstring. That sounds like sciatica. That's nothing. Trust me, that's serious pain. So yeah, I'd like to see Kobbie get some minutes. And Kobbie is someone that, especially if we get that lead and we can make those changes, you definitely a good idea to bring on Kobbie, because he will just kill the game off in a sense of the tempo. He won't allow Norway to get ahead of steam, to get momentum, because he will just take the sting out of the game with his tempo setting. So yeah, I'd like to see Kobbie get some minutes. I wouldn't mind if Gordon doesn't even come on. If we get the game won, for me, Gordon doesn't even have to come on. Keep him fresh. Keep them legs fresh to do some running in the semis and the final. I would actually bring on Morgan Rogers at left wing and then bring on Eze for Jude when we take Jude off. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully we get the game won early, we make them subs, keep everyone fresh for the semis. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree. Remember to like, sub, if you enjoy the content. If you don't, still get in them comments and tell me about myself, yeah?